Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this ULTRA Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
How did you, Echo Bell? You've messed up royally now. So our story continues from the shocking events of last chapter, starting with a stunned face of Akabel standing wide-eyed and in disbelief with his fellow god, Hera's arrival in his own domain. The rival god's face cold as ever, as if he had come after witnessing exactly what Akabel had done in his own multiverse, against the rules and orders of Zeus. You! I know this guy! That black hair and strange outfit! He's the elder god that stopped me from erasing everything! The creator of my multiverse! As Lucif, instantly falling into line, would remember the fear he felt when he had first met Hera, that face being unforgettable to him. As finally Hera would let out, "That kid again. So he's your son. Of course. I should have known from those silly eyes. But then again, a random elder god appearing for the first time in millennia. It was written on the walls something fishy was going on. Omni devil or not, there's no way he could have ascended without a little help." As closing in on Hera's face, he would add goadingly, "And of course, that help would come from one of us doing the unthinkable. Just even I can't believe the one to do it would be Lord Akabel himself. Mr. Goody Two-Shoes in the flesh, that elder god who could do no wrong. The son of Zeus. Akabel, how low you have fallen, my friend." "Spare me your drivel. The one time you perceive me making a mistake, and here you are, to pounce with your monologues." But at this point, Akabel would now be getting visibly annoyed. His teeth gritted as he would continue, "Tell me why you're here, Hera. It's been centuries, but you should know better than to enter my domain and think you will leave here unscathed." But this passive threat would only bring out a smirk and laughter from Hera, who would confidently respond, "So let me get this straight. Now is the time. Really, now of all times is when you think you can turn this on me for trespassing? Let me remind you, you came into my multiverse, a place for mortals, created by me. Break the most sacred of laws of the elder gods, interfering in a battle that if you had left alone would have naturally corrected itself. but instead create a new elder god without any permission to tip the balance of power artificially. And now you think you're the one in a position of power here? Listen carefully, Akobel. I'm not the boy you remember. And if I didn't manage to kill you here, Zeus will do it only moments later. You are a dead elder god walking, old man. I am always the one in power. But now infuriated, Akobel, on top of the vein spontaneously sprouting on his face, would be instantly overcome and surrounded by a bustling Saiyan lightning, as a pressure would emanate from him grumbling, "Some delusion you must have, Hera, to suddenly think the vast gap in our powers had suddenly lessened just because it appears I've broken some rules. But I'll tell you right now, I've broken none. This boy here is not your creation. He is my son, born from my material and DNA. By definition, he is my creation, not yours. All I've done is bring him to where he belongs and pushed him to achieve his birthright. If I die for that, then so be it. But let's be clear, I'll be killing you for the disrespect before Zeus even gets here." Oh God! But almost cringed by Akobel's response, Hera would just nonchalantly slap his palm on his face and reply, "I used to look up to you, you know. You and Castiel. I wanted to be like you two. But how embarrassing it is to see you stand there and come up with such stupid excuses, as if Zeus will be convinced by your technicalities. That creature behind you, your bastard or not, was born of my creation, Rani, his mother. It came out of her, not you, and was born in my multiverse, not yours. You're lucky us gods even let you roam our multiverses to have your fun. Yet, all the other children you bore in the other multiverses, I don't see you lay claim to them. Where are they, Akobel?" And with that reply, the room would fill with silence, as if Akobel had nothing to say to the missing father claims. Enough with this farce! And it would be at this point that Hera would then adamantly point out his finger and say, "You can keep that trash you call a son, like I care. But understand this for a second. You dying here is good for nobody. For a long time, you have been the only hope for Zeus ever being succeeded. To finally have some change, not this boring lifestyle we gods are forced to adhere to. You can't be removed now, just for the rest of us having to wait another ungodly amount of time for another to be close to being appointed. Just admit what you were doing. You brought this child here and ascended him because you can't wait anymore either. You wanted to overthrow Zeus by force. Huh? How could this fool know? and immediately Akabel would be stunned, his eyes bursting open as naively he had thought his plans were truly kept secret. We all know, Akabel, you've had this feeling brewing for a long time, and it couldn't be more obvious. Huh? That voice! As suddenly, a softer tone would be heard speaking from a distance, leaving Akabel to immediately recognize and turn his head until... In a surprise shock to the Archangel, surrounding Lucif and Akabel on all corners would not just be one, but 3 more Elder Gods. Poseidon, Castiel, and Hades, each appearing out of nowhere, apparently having been listening to this entire conversation, staring starkly at Akabel as if he had wronged them all, and not just Zeus, as Poseidon would begin a plan to overthrow Zeus the Almighty. How dumb can you be? Before Castiel would say, Brother, never did I think I was the intelligent one out of us siblings. And Hades finishing, I always knew the tournament idea you gave everyone was just to throw us all off your tail. A tournament where the winning god would get to take your place as the next successor. While the whole time, you were planning to skip the line and take Zeus's place anyway. Not smart at all, Akabel. You 3 as well? Who told you you could come here? But still seeming to not take any accountability, the Archangel would just take this surrounding offensively, immediately increasing his anger as more bolts of lightning would shoot everywhere. But Poseidon, calmly, with his arms folded, would let out, Relax, Akabel. I've been complimentary of your power in the past, but more out of courtesy. You may be able to take down Hera on your own, but don't think for a moment you have the ability to take down 2 elder gods at once, let alone 4. You've made enough poor decisions for the day. As Hades, now smiling, would agree. According to my calculations, 4 of us against you would give you a 2% chance of surviving with even one of your limbs still intact. So I'd listen to Poseidon if I were you. Sorry, we've intruded like this, but would you rather us or Zeus? As finally Castiel, with a forlorn look, would add, Brother, we haven't come here for violence. We've come here to talk. Talk? I won't be falling for that. Not under these circumstances. But unfortunately for the other elder gods, there would be no reasoning for the Archangel, as immediately beginning to take off his top, Akabel would continue, You 4 being here, and Zeus not, is just what I'd expect from that old lazy man. An example of one of many reasons he needed to be replaced. You 4 are here to take me down on his behalf. But what you don't know is, I'm ready for you! As suddenly ripping it violently, tensing his muscles simultaneously, disavowing all their words, Akabel, the Elder God, would ready himself for a battle to the death. A battle for his survival. And just like that, he would place himself in fighting stance, his aim right in front at Poseidon, as eruptions of this divine Saiyan energy would shoot from the ground beneath his feet. And all Poseidon could do would look at Akabel in confusion, commenting, "You fool! Are you even listening to us? We've come to help! Enough talk! You say life under Zeus's rule is boring. Well, I shall make it exciting then!" As before Poseidon could finish up saying anything more, Akabel impatiently, with indescribable force and speed, would explode out in front. "You idiot!" As now moments away from impact, Poseidon would unleash his arms from his folded position and ready himself. "Akabel! Stop! This is not the time!" All under the watch of the Archangel's own younger brother, who would scream out pleading for some sense. "He's too far gone! Do not blame us for killing him!" As Poseidon, now forced into anger himself, would raise his fists and take on Akabel head on. Elder God, the Elder God. And with a scream of intensity unlike any other, all of Akabel's energy would seemingly concentrate on his one right fist until... With a violent straight punch, seemingly powered by thunder and lightning itself, Akabel would land straight on the crossed over arms of Poseidon, pulled in at the very last second to protect himself. But any form of defense wouldn't be enough to truly stop an Elder God in this state, as in a flash of Saiyan energy, Akabel would force Poseidon back like a bullet far into the distance, leaving Lucif and the other gods in his dust. But back with Poseidon, he would himself still be crashing through multiple pillars on a straight flight to nowhere, as again in front, Akabel's thunderous wrath would still be on the chase. "I'll show Zeus, if I die, it will only be by his hand, not by weaklings like you!" As completely aggravated, fighting for his life, Akabel would have a point to prove. "Weaklings! This is exactly why us gods should be allowed to fight more! Look how you dare to look down on me!" As now almost infectious, this rage would be emulated by Poseidon, who cannot stand the higher-than-thou stance Akabel would hold over the other Elder Gods, immediately crashing his hand and knee into the ground to stop himself finally. But despite Poseidon's qualms over Akabel's underestimations of him, the Archangel would be quick to prove he could back up what he said, instantly moving with speed, his body appearing as just light itself until... He would appear in a flash, slamming his elbow straight into Poseidon's ribs, the Elder God forced into a screeching scream. This one strike alone, sending Poseidon to crash harshly into a hard surface in the beyond. Who's next? Learn now why I was chosen to be Zeus's successor, and none of you. See now why I was the only one fit to take over, and why that time should have been now! As Akabel would now stand sparking away, with a commanding monologue over the rest of the gods. But as the smoke and debris would rise in the background, he's stronger than I even remember. But he's lost it if he really thinks this kind of strength was enough to take over from Zeus. Poseidon himself would still be intact, hardly in any pain, but just sat on the floor. And it would be at this point that Hera would be done watching, and interestingly talked to Hades saying, "Right, this is wasting time. I'm going to put Akobel in his place now. You joining in, kid?" As Hades would reply, "Not sure you could put him in his place, but I agree, we haven't got much time, so I'll help." And as the two would stand briefly, Hades would ask naively, "So, want me to come up with a plan or something? I could probably run a calculation on the best strategy." But before the surprisingly nerdy and studious Hades could express his thoughts, Hera, in brute fashion, would already launch forward with complete confidence. Leaving Hades to sigh. "So a free-for-all. Fine, that works for me." A rare smile would creep on the young man's face until he would begin vanishing in an array of lines. And only moments later, Akobel's instincts would be triggered on full blast, turning his head swiftly for "Time to put you down!" Only for Hera to be right above the Archangel with both arms pulled back and energy concentrated at the tips until, with an extreme blast of energy, Akobel would seemingly be virtually evaporated. Or at least that would be how it seemed, until his foot would reappear elsewhere, vanishing with super speed rather than being erased. Speed like that, and you really thought you could talk to me? I'll enjoy your death, Hera. As with a cold stare, the Archangel would reveal himself not only undamaged, but completely unimpressed. Nice distraction, Hera! But it would seem Hera's attack was only to give Hades an opening after all, as just as Akobel would reappear, the young elder god would be right next to him. And as he would unleash a tremendous sweep of his arm that even on missing would cause waves of destruction and collateral, Akobel yet again would vanish. Already on the hunt again for Poseidon, appearing mid-flight straight for the bulky warrior, who would not just be sitting biding his time, as behind him, a strange creature made of water would begin summoning and taking shape. And just like that, a barrage of eruptions and explosions would all be seen from the perspective of Lucifer, every elder god fighting simultaneously, Akobel taking them all on single-handedly. What am I seeing? This is the kind of power Father really had! All of them had! As Lucifer, with new realization, would know watching these gods fight, they were on a whole different level, even higher than he had gushed about before. Akobel! Poseidon! As in the very next panel, two of them would clash again, and this time with Poseidon's power growing more and more to equal the Archangel's. the view on the next page being a reminder that Akabel was all on his own. His lone Saiyan aura blasting forward as 3 others would come at him simultaneously from the other side. And eventually, this would begin to weigh heavy on his supposed son. What am I doing? Outclassed or not, I cannot sit around and watch father fight alone. I said I would join him against this Zeus. So, I should join him here too. As finally remembering his own presence, Lucif would begin powering up no matter how futile it may be. Stop, nephew! But before Lucif could do a thing, potentially even throw his life away, Castiel would make his move, arriving in front of him with his palm out. Akabel! Stop this now! Castiel! As now turning his head and screaming loudly in a divine voice, Akabel, Poseidon, Hera, and Hades, despite their biblical level battle, would all immediately stop and take notice. And with the Elder Gods now finally in line, Castiel would vanish from Lucif's view and appear right next to Akabel, the Archangel's arms down, not immediately violent, as he would then give Castiel one cold stare and say, "What do you want? I was hoping you would see sense and stay out of this. But Zeus is coming to kill his own son, so don't think I don't have it in me to continue that tradition and kill my own brother." I don't doubt it. But brother, we've just told you that you dying is not in our interests. You were our only chance for someone new to take over and change how things are. If you died, we'd have to wait yet another ungodly amount of time before another one of us could be where you are. You were impatient, but we can't afford to lose you now. As now, with a conniving smirk coming across the younger brother's face, Castiel would explain, "So, we have come here with a solution, a suggestion to bring to Zeus himself. The tournament will go on, but the winner this time won't be taking your place as Zeus's successor. No, the winner will be taking Zeus's spot as leader of the Elder Gods, and Zeus himself will enter his own multiverse's creations also." What? And this suggestion would blow Akabel's mind, sending the story in yet another chaotic turn, as the Archangel could only stare with his eyes aghast until he would then turn back to the others and ask, "So this is what you all truly came for then? This is really what you all have agreed upon?" To which, relatively calmly, the other 3 would nod their heads in unison, letting out, "Yes, that's the deal. We were happy to just become the new successor and bide our time. But now that you've done this, we had to improvise. Change will come sooner than expected." But still with doubts in his head, Akabel would then turn back to Castiel and ask, "Okay, I get the logic. Me dying now would mean there was no successor, so you'd have to wait millennia just to be in the position we are in now. So instead, hold the tournament and become the leader now. The question is, Just what makes you think Zeus will even listen to this? But Castiel would respond swiftly, he wouldn't listen to you, but he will listen to us. This is the first time in history all the elder gods have come together in unison with something to say. If Zeus is as democratic as he has led us to believe, then he will not refuse. Sure, we can't guarantee he won't still kill you, but at the very least, this idea might explain why you and Cronoa interfered in mortal affairs and brought these two boys. Your two entrants into the tournament. Cronoa has already agreed to this, as you can imagine. This was her idea, actually. Cronoa! That damn witch! So this was all her plan all along. I fell for it. As immediately on hearing her name, Akobel's annoyance would return with force. No! But that annoyance would have to take a back seat when out of nowhere, Akobel, Castiel, Poseidon, Hera, and Hades would receive the shock of their lives, sensing the most unbelievable energy signature right near them, getting closer by the second. What the hell? As in an unbelievable divine sight that even stuns the elder gods themselves. When they would look into the sky, all they would see is a giant shining star, a gleaming yellow that outshines everything else, soaring down until it would finally come down for a humongous explosion. The bright yellow energy flashing everything in sight, with all 5 elder gods left gobsmacked in expression as they sense what had just come down and all be lost in its magnificent light. But eventually, calm would pass, when within the giant crater, surrounded in a tornado of swirling and rising smoke, a single electrified entity would be smoking in the middle. His appearance hidden at first, until a shadowy face would emerge, but perhaps unlike any we'd seen before. As in a truly unexpected sight, a being of pure aura and power would emerge, standing tall and straight like an unmoving statue, his perfect physique rippling with muscular definition, as a raging pure yellow aura mixed with lightning would cover everything and sprout to all reaches of this realm, the area itself around him crumbling from his presence. He would look far from recognizable, but his appearance here would be known to all elder gods as the end for one of them at least. And it would be Castiel first who would be completely thrown off by what he would be seeing and sensing, as he would mutter, Who is that man? I sense Father's energy, but why is he so young? That can't be! As Akobel, as if knowing already, would reveal, it is Father Castiel. He's come in his battle form of legend for me. Prime Zeus has arrived. As finally stepping forward with a menacing presence and composure, Prime Zeus would simply let out, Akobel, come here. Your father needs to tell you something. Come here! I've got something to tell you. What? But this would all be shattered when the next scene would return to the shocking early meeting of Omni Vegito and ULTRA Vegito, locked in a stare-down of disbelief. But Cronoa, seeing the sudden entrance, would comment, Huh? Is that another one of these Vegitos I see? How curious. Where did he come from? And how did he manage to enter here without an elder god? Before she would then begin smiling, saying, I knew this Saiyan had potential, but now I see it clearly. Huh? Another Vegito-san! But those eyes! He's an Omni Devil! As Whis would be next to recognize the Saiyan. Get off me! But our Vegito would then roughly remove his arm, jumping back to get a clearer view as he would ask, Are you one of my time clones I forgot to absorb or something? What's the deal? And those eyes? Wait, are you? No, kid. I'm nothing to do with you. But yes, I'm an Omni Devil. A version of you who actually became a god. We're scheduled to fight one day. But since you're the God Killer, I thought I'd give you a little opportunity to try your luck now. I've been dying to find out a few things about you. But ULTRA Vegito would just immediately turn his back, uninterested, responding, Tough luck, but you can get in the queue. I have a lot bigger fish to take care of first. You can die later. But even though Vegito had turned now to fight Whis again, both Whis and Vegito would suddenly find themselves shocked in the face as... How did he... As with extreme speed in a single frame, Omni Vegito would find himself right in the middle of the Angel and God Killer, his palm firmly placed on Vegito's chest until... So, looks like the first thing I found out is... You're slow. As in an unbelievable display of power and dominance in one effortless blast right in front of the powered up Whis, Omni Vegito would completely annihilate the God Killer. Just how powerful is this new Vegito? And just what can our Vegito even do in this scenario? Find out on the next exciting episode of UV.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag #PrimeZeus in the comments down below and let me know just what will the strongest Elder God do now. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.